Welcome to the Cuyahoga County Economic Development and Planning Committee meeting Tuesday, March 18th, 2025 at 3:05. Call the roll.
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. Turner.
Present.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
Mr. Gallagher. Here. Ms. Simon. Yes. You have a quorum.
Is there any public comment?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Terry Coyne.
Welcome, Mr. Coyne. Yep. Make sure your mic's on.
My name is Terry Coyne. I only have 2 minutes, so I'll keep it brief. I submitted a letter that I think Councilwoman Simon received via email, and I think you have it, a hard copy of it. I'll just read into record the section that I care about. Under Ohio law, specifically ORC 1710.06, the renewal of a SID requires approval via petition from property owners representing at least 60% of the front footage of properties, subject to the assessments within the district. Voting rights are thus expressly contingent upon inclusion in the SID as an assessed member, i.e. a property owner liable for the special assessments. Cuyahoga County, as confirmed by its non-payment of an assessment and its status as a non-voting member, does not meet this criteria. The county's exclusion from the assessed membership roster at the time the petition was drafted precludes any claim to voting eligibility in the current renewal cycle. So as I read Ohio Revised Code, they asked you to join too late. You had to have joined before the process began. Obviously, I'm in opposition of it, so I'm trying anything I can to keep you out and the city of Cleveland out because I want it to lose. So my research has led me to see that there's a procedural error that precludes you from voting.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Chair, that concludes our public comment for today.
Thank you. From our law department, do we have an opinion on this?
Mr. Chairman, Greg Huth on behalf of the Law Department. I've read through the statute and I don't interpret it in the same way, and I think council's within its rights to move forward at this time on this piece of legislation.
Thank you.
Chairman?
Yes.
Has the item been read into the record?
Not yet.
Please read it into the record.
Can we approve the minutes first, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. We have the minutes from the prior meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Resolution 2025-0044, authorizing the county executive to sign a petition in support of continuing the downtown Cleveland Improvement District, requesting that certain county properties be included in the district.
Thank you. My colleagues have any?
I just wanted to follow up with our law director or assistant. So if that's okay. So the question that was raised, the issue was whether we're coming in, the county, even the city of Cleveland, too late from the inception of the petition process. I think that's the issue.
That's the way I understand it, yes, Councilman.
And so what does ORC say about that specifically, if anything, and why do you think it's up to interpretation?
Councilwoman, Mr. Chairman of the Councilwoman, the ORC isn't worded in a way as to say when we would have to be a member or not. Well, I mean, obviously we can't be a member unless we vote to be a member, so that's what this process is right now. So we couldn't have been a member until we voted on being a member. So the ORC isn't written to say that we have to be a member in order to vote on the petition itself.
Isn't one of the issues is that other members have been voting and submitting petitions? I think that's the issue.
Mr. Chairman, the Councilman,
precluded now
that could be his issue, but in fact, the petition as it was circulated lists the county's properties. So it is making the other members who are voting on it aware that the county may be a part of the SID. But at the same time, the petition also includes language that would allow the city to make adjustments to the assessments if we're not in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's our law department
Right.
saying that.
Yes. Council President.
we've discussed this in long and in detail, and I rely on the opinion of our law department. And even if some further work is needed, it can be worked on before this comes up for final passage. And so I'm going to move that we refer.
I have more things to talk about through the chair to Mr. Miller.
Mr. Chair, to my colleague, making a motion does not shut off debate.
I know you're so eager to get this
I'm gonna
through,
put-
but
I'm gonna put-
it's interesting to me that you're really, and you're just really need to push this as fast as you can, and I frankly don't understand why. But yeah, if you want to make a motion, I have questions for Mr. Deemer, who's in the audience, and I have more questions. So I know you
So-
want to push it through.
Oh.
At 10 minutes after 3, I don't understand why you're so eager to get this out so fast every single meeting.
So I'm going to make a motion to refer Resolution 2025-0044 to the full council for consideration for second reading suspension. And I would ask if one of my colleagues would second.
Second.
And I also want to say that we have had 3 or 4 meetings on this subject. And the Downtown Improvement District is trying to work with the city of Cleveland and the property owners and the county to work together to improve the downtown community. And they've been badgered and disrespected during the committee process for several meetings now, and I perfectly respect it if you have some questions, but I'm telling you that this relationship has been strained, and I'm asking you to please show some restraint and exercise discretion in the way that you put forward the questions. I just ask for your indulgence in that, please.
I don't think I
Thank you
need
very much, Mr.
your
Chairman.
admonition, Council President, about how to ask questions in committee meetings. I actually take great umbrage with your analysis that you need to be some kind of umpire to tell us how to act, and I've done nothing through these committee hearings that would merit or warrant such an admonition from you. The relationship is not strained because I've been asking questions, as far as I know.
Councilwoman Simon, would you like to speak with Mr. Deemer?
I would ask that you, Mr. Chair, take
Part
this
of the
lead on
discussion,
this
Mr.
committee
Deemer.
instead of this. Mr. Deemer?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
The question I have, Mr. Deemer, is about the work that's being done to clean up the area, the district that you're asking to continue in the
Yes.
city, and whether there's third-party management of those workers. Does your organization subcontract out with a third party to manage or somehow oversee that work?
Mr. Chairman, Councilwoman Simon, we do. We contract with a national firm called Block by Block that runs clean and safe programs across the United States.
Mr. Deemer, can you state your name for the record, please?
Yes, Michael Deemer.
Thank you.
So you have how many people working for you? What's your staff?
We have a professional staff of about 20, and then the number of our ambassadors fluctuates seasonally between 40 and 50.
40 and 50 ambassadors?
Ambassadors.
And those are block, it's called what? Block to block?
Block by block.
Block by block. And so they do what, why aren't you doing that as the local entity?
Mr. Chair, Councilwoman Simon, it is a national best practice to utilize a professional service like Block by Block to provide clean and safe services. Members of the committee may be aware, I'm a member of the board of directors of the International Downtown Association. Common practice among downtown management organizations across the country. It is efficient. They're great at what they do. They've been providing terrific services to downtown over the course of nearly 20 years.
So why do we need your organization?
Mr. Chairman and Councilwoman Simon, we provide very important management, direction, and alignment with our contractor to provide the services that downtown Cleveland needs, that meets the specific needs of our property owners, that aligns with all of the other work taking place in the community. We align it with the Cleveland Police, work closely with our public safety partners. So we've talked about this with Block by Block on many occasions. Organizations like ours provide critical oversight and management to make sure that Block by Block services are being deployed in the way that local property owners need.
And who does that on your staff?
We have Ed Eckhart, who's our Senior Vice President of Operations, that was here last week. Ed, in consultation and at my direction, oversees those clean and safe services.
And how do they get paid? Block by block?
Block by Block is paid through the special improvement district assessments that owners pay into the district.
How much? Is it a flat fee, or is it depend on how much work they do? Is it contingent? How does it, what's the method by which they get paid?
The assessment brings in about $5 million a year. About 80% of that goes towards the Clean and Safe program.
So the property owners, pretty much, you're a conduit at that point with some oversight?
Mr. Chairman, Councilwoman Simon, we pay Block by Block to provide the services, and we manage the services that Block by Block provides.
And the employees, the workers are from here, they're local, and they're on their payroll, Block by Block, or your payroll?
The ambassadors are on the payroll of Block by Block.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions from the committee?
Through the chair. Not quite sure how I phrased it at the last meeting. I think I'd asked Ms. Gallagher if there was any record of any itemized payments to this organization, like with that would be provided to the council, to Schaefer.
Mr. Mackler, do you recall any of that information that was requested by the committee?
Good afternoon, Trevor Mackler, County Council staff. Yes, the councilwoman's correct. She did ask for that, but I did not receive that, so I don't know if it was sent over or not, but I don't believe it was sent over to staff if it was.
Okay.
Who was going to send that to you?
I think the request was made when the administration was presenting, Chief Katie Gallagher was presenting, I think, at the time, and I think Councilwoman Turner asked her for that information.
Okay. Any other comments?
Just, you know, from the legal standpoint, I'm going to listen to the law director, but if there's a lawsuit, you know, we better be in a position to defend what's happening with this. And I am disturbed by most of the money from going out of state and to Block by Block. I don't know if the committee knew that.
So this was, if we pass this through, it's just simply to get out of committee that would give the executive staff the opportunity to sign the petition, not signing the petition by passing this. It's just to give that opportunity, if I'm correct on that, right? Okay.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so We would like to get that information that the vice chair here has requested, but I would also like to move this forward to the next council meeting, and like to get that information prior to that council meeting. If we can get that done.
Yeah, I apologize. Debbie Berry, Chief of Integrated Development for the Cuyahoga County. I apologize, Councilwoman. I think there was just a disconnect. Again, obviously, Chief Gallagher was here last time. I've been here, so we will make sure you get that with this week for sure. Definitely apologize. Do recall the request, and we'll get that to you right away.
Thank you.
So we had a motion and a second to move this forward to full council, and there is a request for second reading suspension.
Whose request?
Was requested, I believe, at the last meeting.
To the chair, to the councilwoman, I believe the original request of the legislation was for a second read, and as we've now spent some additional time in committee, they're looking to wrap this up by the end of March and be able to submit all the petitions together to the city. So we're looking for the authority on the second read.
So all in favor of moving this forward to the next council meeting under second reading suspension, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other business?
There are no other items for
Okay,
consideration.
no miscellaneous business. In that case, we are adjourned.